Hello, my name is Dr. Clements. I'm the creator of this course. I've created this video to introduce you to how this course is put together. This is an independent learning course, which means that you will be learning the material on your own. You will need to take ownership of your learning and do the things that are required for you to be successful. Certainly you can use any of the resources you have in order to be successful in the course. This includes several campus resources. Excuse me. Basically, what an independent learning course means is that there will not be traditional lectures in a traditional classroom. That said, I've tried to build the course in a way that you will hopefully have at least as good of an experience as if it were a traditional course. You also have the advantage that since this is online, you could be living anywhere, and you could be traveling, and you could still be working on the course. And now I want to describe a little bit of how you will learn in this course. I will show you this while also showing you how to find material on the course website. Okay, so here is the course website. You got to this video by clicking to get started on the course. Click here. I want to show you where you will be spending most of your time in the course. That is here under the lessons link right here. So basically this course is divided into 15 lessons, and I've called them weeks for obvious reasons. They're roughly the amount of material that would be had in 1 week in a traditional college course. There are usually four different links within a week, and I like to call these days because they're supposed to be equivalent to what would happen in a day in a traditional college classes. Each of these days, let me go ahead and open one up. So I will open up this limit laws and limit forms. Each of these days have a series of videos in them that you will be required to watch. For most of the days, the videos together are a total of roughly 30 to 35 minutes in length, which is less than a regular class time. Personally, for me, I find it easier to learn from videos because, I can pause it at any point that I'm confused if I just need to think about what was just said, or I can rewind it to go back, just in case I want to listen to it again, or I can pause it and just take a short break or catch up on the notes that I'm taking, which actually makes me go to the next point that I want to talk about. You must take these videos very seriously, which means that you have to take notes while you're watching them, just like you would in a traditional college class. I provided a video below this one that will teach you how to do Cornell note-taking. I would highly recommend that you learn the Cornell note-taking system because you will be able to take notes faster, you will be able to study them better, you'll be able to review notes better under the Cornell note-taking system. Okay, so there are the videos. Let me go ahead and talk about what comes after the videos. After the videos, there will be a practice sheet, on basically a learning activity with a few problems for you to learn. Let me go ahead and show you one of these so you can see kind of what's going on. Here you go. So this is the first one that you'll be working on. Basically what I do is I give you a series of problems. In this one I give you 2 problems with a few parts, and I ask you to basically do it. I also expect that you will take these learning activities in a sense very seriously as well. What I mean by that is, even though I'm providing the solutions, I don't want you to look at the solutions until you have written up your own solutions. Basically, mathematics is mastered by doing and not by reading. If you don't do these and you only look at the solutions, you won't know that you know it. What I would recommend that you do is, after you watch the videos, you practice these problems. If you don't understand how to do these problems, then please use your resources like tutors and like the math lab and that sort of thing. to be able to figure it out. And only after you've come up with solutions through whatever means possible. Then look at my solutions. That way you will learn best. A couple other things that I want to mention is that, well, only one really. The written solutions that I provide for these have a double purpose. They are to give you a model to the kind of detail that I want in the written homework, which I will talk about in a few minutes. Okay, so I think that right there is the learning activities. 1 second. So let's go back to the website, and I'll show you the next thing. You will also notice that every few of them there will be this thing right here, MML 2.2. What this means is that you will be expected to do homework in my math lab. My math lab is the online homework system for this class. Basically, doing problems in my math lab is roughly equivalent to your teacher in a traditional classroom assigning problems out of the section in the book. So let me show you a little bit about how my math lab works. First of all, you will access my math lab after you go through the video that I've given you below that will show you how to set up my math lab. The way that you will access it is by going to My Labs and Mastering and then clicking on My Math Lab All Assignments. Okay, so if you click on that, it will end up looking like this right here. After you've gone through the setup process and you've bought an access code, which you can do through the bookstore if you're here in Laramie. So basically, this is a series of homework sets that I want you to do. You will notice that most of them, like 2.2 for example, has a part A and a part B. Let me go ahead and explain a little bit about the difference between these. You are required to do Part A before you can move on to Part B. Part A, let me just go ahead and show you a little bit about what happens. So when you click on it, you'll be given a series of questions. So I'll go ahead and click on one and show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is basically what it would look like. You would type your answer in here or here. Part A, what it does is it lets you practice the problems that you're given as many times as you need. And it also provides here on the side a series of helps, such as help me solve this, view an example, and so forth, so that you can get a little bit extra help for it. Part B, on the other hand, does not. All of these things on the side are taken off, and you're only given a limited amount of tries in Part B basically before it kicks you out of that problem. I hope that you can kind of see the purpose behind why I would do a Part A and a Part B. The Part A is for you to practice. The Part B is for you to show me that you have come to understand the material. Okay, so that's my math lab. Let's go back to the modules that we will have. At the end of each week or each lesson, there will be a written homework assignment that you will be required to do. These written homework assignments will be a series of problems for you to do. Okay, so here's the first one that I'm having you do. Written homework assignment number 1. I basically have you do a few problems. Now the difference here is that these ones you will actually hand in. I want you to be able to write them out neatly and write them out nicely using the model of detail that I provide in the daily ones, and then you will submit them. There will be a form on the course website where you will hand them in. Basically you will be scanning it in, converting it to a PDF file, and then handing it in. I will provide some details as to exactly what I expect there, basically, you know, in the right page order, nicely written, and that sort of thing. One other thing that I want to point out is that every few weeks, so here in week 5 is exam 1. So the 5th lesson is basically do a little bit and then do a lot of practice in order to prepare for exam 1. So every few weeks you will be asked to do an exam. The way that you will take your exams is that you will need to find a proctor to take them. If you live in Laramie, you will be using the Outreach Credit Programs office in order to take the exam. I will be providing information on how you can contact them. You must give them at least 72 hours before you plan on taking your exam for them to be able to schedule the exam in there. Now, if you do not live in Laramie, things are a little bit more involved. You will have to find a qualified proctor outside of the university, and there will be certain instructions on how to do that on the course website. But basically, you can pick somebody like another faculty member at another university, or if you're at a high school, use the principal or a counselor. You can use the educational training officer in the armed forces if you're out for something like that. You can use the head librarian at a public library, or any testing center at the university, as long as they would allow that. The process on how you would do that is that you would need to contact the proctor you want, ask them if they can do it, arrange a time for the two of you to do it, and then fill out an exam application form that is on the website, and then email that to the Outreach Credit Programs office. You must do this at least, and for you that are outside of Laramie, this is different. You must do this at least 10 days before you intend to take the exam. So plan accordingly. Okay. One last thing that I should probably talk about for this course is that I would really like to emphasize the amount of time that you will need to spend in this course. It's expected that a college student spends 3 hours outside of class for every hour in class. This is especially true for classes like the sciences, such as mathematics, or some language classes too. This is a 4-credit class. Thus, you should expect to give at least 16 hours of work for each lesson that you do, or which is basically the equivalent of a week. And since this is an independent study course without the kind of supports you would find in a traditional course, don't be surprised if you have to spend a little bit more. If you think about this, this estimate is not really that extravagant when you consider a full-time college student is supposed to give 40 hours a week to his studies. That means 12 credits for 40 hours a week. So if you divide it out, you would see that the amount of time you should give for credits is roughly 16 hours. Okay, thank you. I hope you enjoy this course.